Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of Mastering Mains PYQ. For regular viewer, you know the drill. For newcomer, let me brief you. So this is a free initiative of NEXT IAS where you can write answer, submit them and get them evaluated. So after the discussion, you can have a proper structuring of your answer and help you cover this Mains PYQ aspect. Okay. So today we will be discussing our sessions on social justice. So as you all know, social justice is a very important part of GS2. Every year you can expect at least 3 to 4 questions on social justice. The beauty with this 3-4 question is that these are very low hanging fruit. Questions would be very simple. But the major difficult part is answering them, structuring them, and how to make your answer look little bit different from the regular answers. So in this thing, what will be helping you? The PYQs. So that's why we are having this discussions on mastering mains PYQ, so that you can structure your answer in a very decent format, so that you can have improve get an age of 0.5 or 1 marks in your examination. Okay, so in social justice, the question is asking the crucial aspect of development process has been the inadequate attention paid to human resource development in India. Suggest measures that can address these inadequacies. So in this question, if you happen to look into this question, there is a context given, and the context is that there is a inadequate attention to the human resource development. But the major aspect of question is suggest measure. So you need to structure your answer accordingly. Your context part should be covering a little bit portion, and the major aspect of your answer should be to suggest measure. Okay, so now I'll be discussing how you should be answering your framing your question. Okay, so in introduction format, so how you can decode this in, obviously you would be answering your question on introduction, body and conclusion format. So coming on to the introduction part, what you can do, you can start in 2 or 3 ways. So first of all, you can start simply with data. What sort of data? You can simply say that India's median age is 28 years, while that of China is 35 years, while that of US is 38 years, and Japan way beyond 49. So to reap the benefit of this median age of 28 year, a high young population, what we need? We need a effective human resource development. Okay. So here you need to link two process very importantly in your introduction. First, human resource development, and second, development process. Okay. So development process is ensuring economic, sustainable and social progress, because development is a holistic concept, and how it will be achieved through effective human resource development. So these two linkage should be your main aspect in the introduction. So you can start with this kind of introduction, or you can simply start with India's HDI ranking. That you can simply say that India ranks 132nd out of 191 countries in human development index. To ensure India's ranking come into the forefront, to ensure development process comes into the line, what we need a human resource development. Why? Because the most important resource any country can have is human resource. Okay, and to reap the benefit of that human resource, what you need? We need effective human resource development. So in this way also you can stand. What is the third way? Third way is, when you don't find any data and anything else in your introduction, what you can simply talk about why human resource development. You can simply ask this question in your mind, that why human resource development is important. Why? To ensure sustainable, then economic and social progress. Effective human resource development is the key to that. Okay, so this could be your introduction part. Because why? You need to answer about development process and human resource development. So the better you link those things, the better would be your introduction. Now coming on to the body part, what you can be answering in this one. So your body part covers two major things. First, what are the inadequacies that hampers human resource development in India? This could be your first part of your body. What could be a second part of your body? You can answer about how measures you can take, what are the things that the government can take to ensure effective human resource development. So these are the two major aspects of any answer that you can answer in this question. So coming on to the body part, first let's discuss what are the major inadequacies. So as it is a 10 marker, you should be framing your answer accordingly, because word limits are very crucial and it should be respected and adhered to. In this question, what you can do? You can answer 2 to 3 points in inadequacies, and rest you can give 6 to 5 point in measures. So both of these things you can correlate. For example, for instance, inadequacies, what are the first major inadequacies? That is education gap. So you can talk about what are the education gap that hampers human resource development. Okay. Before answering human resource, you should be having a clear concept of human resource development in your mindset. Okay. It does not mean that you need to answer and you need to define what is human resource development. Okay. That could be a other part of introduction. But you should be having a clear idea what is human resource development. It should not be silos that only skill is related to human development. Okay, human resource development means having a holistic development of human being. It should be educationally high empowered. Then it should create a very good nutritious diet for the person. It should be having a healthy environment. All these things covered together makes a proper human resource development for any country. And all the major European countries, Europe and Japan, all the progress that has been come through the effective human resource development only. Okay, South Korea, then Germany, all these things, all these countries, why they are progressing so fast and till now? Because of they are having a nice pool of human resource development. They have developed a niche area of their human resources, and they are utilizing those human resources to ensure economic and social progress of their nation. Okay, so coming on to the questions, what are the inadequacies left? First major inadequacies, yeah. And what you can write in education gap? You can talk about dropout rate. You can talk about gender divide. Okay, so and you can talk about infrastructure constraint. These are the few things that you can talk about in your educational gap. And if you have some data like dropout rate or gender divide or infrastructure constraint, it would be very nice to add in your answer. So it would be best to you to answer this in this form. Okay. Secondly, what major inadequate hampers? Again, skill level. Okay. So in skill mismatch, there are two major things that is hampering the human resource development. What are? First is quantity and second is quality. Regarding quantity, what major thing is? The thing is only 5% of workforce in India is properly trained. So as compared to 48% in South Korea, as compared to 42% in USA. So the kind of skill development we need is very less in India, even after implementing for past few years skill development mission. So this needs a very proper and effective attention. That's why question has also been asked that there might be some inadequacies that is still hampers India's progress. So that's why the question is asked. So you need to highlight all those inadequacies and then answer the question. And what regarding quality? Again, the kind of skill we have, it does not match the proper standard worldwide. For instance, if you happen to take automobile industries, the kind of skill development India is having, it not might match with European standards. Okay, so but if now it's an area of globalization. If we want to compete, we need to work on your quality. Okay, that's why the shoes industry, why it shifted from China to Vietnam? Because of effective workforce available there. Okay, and the same note, why IT industry is again booming in India? Because of we have the effective workforce of skill development in IT sector. So if we want to progress in other sector also, what we need? We need a proper skill development, both in terms of quality and in terms of quality. There should not be skill mismatch. If an industry is requiring the kind of worker, the skill of that worker should be matching with the requirement of industry. So these both things should be carried on simultaneously. Okay, so this is the other major aspect. Now coming on to the third part. The third part is health. Okay, still there are many health gaps prevalent in India. For instance, we have high level of anemia in women. Nearly 50% of India's women is anemic. Then we have issue of hidden hunger, which we call malnutrition. Nearly 30% of children are still stunted. Then we have high prevalence of non-communicable disease. Then issue of out of pocket expenditure. So these are the some of the major issues that still hampers the human resource development in health sector. You can choose any 1 or 2 points and you can write in your answer. Try to make your point very short. 1 or 2 line would be sufficient because the major focus of your answer should be the measures. Okay. Then finally, we need to counter the gender divide. Okay. The kind of inequality women is facing, the gender pay gap, the glass ceiling, and the discrimination between men and women with respect to job still hampers the human resource development in India. Because for a country to progress, half of population cannot be left behind. To country to progress, both of the population, men and women, they should work hand in hand to ensure the nation gets progress. Okay, and this is the idea of human resource development, to ensure development of human, and this development will ensure economic development, and when there would be economic development, there would be definitely a social progress. Okay, so in this way you need to answer your first part. Coming on to the major part of your answer, key, what are the measures that can be taken? Okay, so now let's discuss what are the measures that can. So it would be advisable for you to structure your answer in such a way that you answer in subheading format, because the subheading format will catch the evaluator of eye of the evaluator, so that what you can show that this is the major aspect that I am highlighting, so that even if the evaluator is in rush, he or she would be definitely looking into the subheading. Okay, so what are the measures that can be taken? First, you can talk about institutional measures. So all the institutions associated with providing effective skills, all these institutions are providing effective healthcare should be properly aligned with the human resource development. How? That, like for instance, National Skill Development Corporation. It has the task of ensuring proper human resource development. So the skill mismatch, academia industry coalition, all these things should be taken care by NSDC to ensure there is a very nice pool of skill people, to ensure that these skill people work in industry and help get employment, and when they get employment, definitely there would be economic development. Okay, so now we need to target that skill development and human resources are not only for India. These skill resources can be pooled for world also, because many countries in the worldwide are aging. So when they are aging, definitely they would be requiring young population. And who has the most amount of young population? India. So we can be a skill pool for the world, not for the India itself. Okay, and when we get our people will go for it, definitely they would be sending foreign currency, and when we have foreign currency, our forex will go high. So this is the economic cycle. You can also link about, it's all about interlinkage. If you happen to link this all minute point, definitely your answer will look better than many of the other people. So in institutional measure, you can talk about NSDC. Then what other institution? You can talk about AICTE, okay, CBSC. You can measure this, how they can ensure that there is a effective human resource development. They can work on their curriculum. Okay, so these are the measures that can be taken from the institutional point of view. Now other measures that can be taken from policies point of view. What we need, a effective policy to match the skill and requirement of the industry. So what we need is industria, academia, coalition. All the skill training institutes should work in tandem with the industries located in the region, so that the kind of skill deficit is happening in that region, the industry of skill development should fulfill that. Okay, for instance, if there is a leather industry in certain district, the training institute should help people to know about the training industry, should know about the how leather industry should benefit them. For take the instance of Agra. Agra is full of leather industry. So their people should be having a kind of skill which is related to leather, so that when the skill is the industry is having shortage of skill, these people can fulfill the skill shortage. Okay. Other policy measures, it should be bottom up planning. Okay, like the kind of approach we are having in aspirational district program. For instance, Danex in Dantewada, they are training women to ensure that these clothes are sell not in India only, it's their clothes gets exported to world also. So this is the one example that you can quote in your. Remember, whatever points I'm highlighting, if you are quoting all those points with some best practices, it will definitely fetch you very good marks. Okay, then we need Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 2.0, linking to present day development IR 4.0. This IR Industrial Revolution 4.0 technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, 3D manufacturing, all this thing should be a part of curriculum starting from the college day itself, from the for the science background, so that this IR 4.0. Similarly, the arts sector, every sector we first functioning should be working in the modern age technologies. So Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas 2.0, what it should be dealing? It should be dealing with the current developments happening around the world, so that we are not missing this time the bus of industrial revolution 4.0. First few revolution we missed because of certain inadequacies. These inadequacies we should not be missing, because we should be having a proper human resource development. Okay, so these are the policies measures that can be taken. Now, what other measures can be taken? Third is collaboration. Collaboration with NGOs, civil society, international organizations, okay, and having a partnership with them, so that these NGOs and civil society or international, they can be helping hand to ensure the skilled workforce get a decent employment. The kind of work Akshay Patra is doing, the kind of work Pratham's Acer survey does. Okay. We should be effectively utilizing all this data, all this helping hand to ensure that there is a effective human resource development. After for finally, the other major thing that we can have is proper investment. Right now, we are having only 0.7% of our investment in GDP, 0.7% of our GDP invested in research and development. To scale up the innovation, to scale up effective human resource development, we need to invest little bit more on innovation. We need to invest more on research and development, so that this bring a very nice fruit for our future generation, so that they are having a proper human resource development, and all this thing will lead to our effective development process. The idea question is asking. Okay, so investment should be on innovation, R&D, etc. Here you can quote example like Atal Innovation Mission, Atal Tinkering Labs. All these things could be your plus point to answer this question. Then focusing on okay, so this should be your major aspect. Now, after giving all the measures that can be taken, what measures you can talk about in conclusion? So in conclusion, you can talk about certain things. You can talk about sustainable development goal. So what does sustainable development goal first talk about? There should be no hunger, there should be no poverty, there should be gender inequality. To ensure all these things, any country would need effective human resource development. So you can talk about all the SDG, and you can simply link with their sustainable development goal. Or in conclusion, what you can talk about? You can talk about India's demographic dividend. So how India's demographic dividend, to reap the benefit of demographic dividend, what we need? We need to link our demographic dividend with the development process. And when this demographic shift is linked to development process, effectively what will you have? We will have a social and economic development. So these are the way in which you can conclude your answer. Okay, so three things again I am repeating finally that you should be taking care of in social justice. First is you should be having a very nice fact. Second, you should be knowing the structure of your answer, what you are going to answer in subheading. And third major aspect is best practices. Include all this thing in your answer, definitely your answer will look better. Okay, so this was from this question. We will be discussing next question next day. Thank you very much.